the other way. Okay, so that was the addition method. Now I'm going to show you how to do the exact same thing using the substitution method. Substitution method. These are long problems, okay? I'm sorry. Okay, substitution method. Same exact problem. Let's write your equations again. 4x plus 2y plus 3z equals 1. 2x minus 3y plus 5z equals negative 14. And 6x minus y plus 4z equals negative 1. So we're starting with the exact same equations. This time I'm going to use substitution. Remember, substitution, you want to have one letter all by itself. Okay, so we still have our equation 1, equation 2, and equation 3. So if I wanted to get one letter all by itself, this y is the only one that looks like it could be solved for. Okay, everything else would involve fractions, so you would not want to do that. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to solve for y. So to solve for that, first I'm going to move the x and the z to the opposite side. So move the x and the z. So minus 6x minus 4z. So if I rewrite this equation, you're going to be negative y equals negative 6x minus 4z minus 1. So I'm just rearranging this third equation. I want y by itself, so right now it's attached to a negative, so divide all the parts by negative 1. And when you rewrite it, you're going to have y equals positive 6x plus 4z plus 1. Now, this says substitution method. So, step 1 is to substitute into both of the other equations. Substitute into both of the other equations. Okay, substitute into both of the other equations because you have y by itself. So we're going to start with equation 1. Okay, equation 1, I'm going to substitute in for y. So rewrite everything just the same. So 4x plus 2, but instead of y, I'm plugging in here. So your y is now 6x plus 4z plus 1. Don't forget you still have this plus 3z on the left side of the equation equals 1. And you want to get, our goal here is we need to get letters on the left side. Okay, get letters on the left side of the equation and numbers on the right side. Okay, get letters on the left side, numbers on the right side. So here we're going to distribute 4x plus 12x. 2 times 4z gives you plus 8z. Plus 2 plus 3z equals 1. I want you to combine like terms, so put together the x's. That gives you 16x. Put together your z's. So that's plus 11z. And we said to move the numbers to the other side. So if I move the numbers to the other side, that means I'm going to subtract 2. And you can do that kind of all in the same step, that's fine. Okay, so equals negative 1. So that's your first equation. Now I'm going to plug in again, but instead of using equation 1, we're going to plug into equation 2. Okay, so again, plug into equation 2. So 2x minus 3 times 6x plus 4z plus 1 plus 5z equals negative 14. Again, just distribute. So 2x minus 18x minus 12z minus 3 plus 5z equals negative 14. Combine your like terms to put the x's together. 2x minus 18x gives you negative 16x. Add together the z's, so put your z's together. Negative 12 and positive 5 gives you minus 7z. And move your numbers to the opposite side. So add 3 to both sides. And that'll leave us equals negative 11. So now I've gone ahead and I've substituted. Now I have 2 new equations. So step 2 is you want to use the new equations and solve the system. So use the new equations to solve the system. And now this is in a system of 2 variables, which is what we know how to work. So 16x plus 11z equals negative 1. Line up the second one, negative 16x minus 7z equals negative 11. Add together your equations, and the x's will cancel. Now, sometimes they won't be perfect, so they won't cancel right away. So you might have to multiply through. But that's something that we should know how to do. Okay, so 4z equals negative 12. Divide both sides. And you'll get z equals negative 3. And then your last step, step 3, is plug in to find the other variables. Plug in to find other variables. So I know z. I'm going to use one of these equations because they only have 2 variables in them and use it to plug in to find one of those variables, to find the z. So I'll use this one because it looks a little bit easier. 16x plus 11 times negative 3 is z equals negative 1. 16x minus 33 equals negative 1. Add 33 to both sides. Leaves us with 16x equals 32. Divide both sides by 16. And we're getting an answer of x equals 2. So now I have 2 of my variables. I'm left to find one more. Like I said, you can use any of these equations, okay? So if I found x and I found z, I want to find y last. So this equation is probably the easiest one to use because you're going to end up with just a y equals. So I would use that equation. So we're going to use y equals 6x plus 4z plus 1 and just plug in. Y equals, our x is 2, so 6 times 2, plus 4 times our z was negative 3, plus 1. So y equals 12 minus 12 plus 1. 12 minus 12 goes away, so y equals 1. And our answer, again, I want you to write it as an ordered triplet. Okay, it always has to go in alphabetical order, so in this case it's x, y, z order. So your x was 2, y is 1, z is negative 3. And that's our answer. So hopefully you can see there's 2 different ways I could have done that problem and you could still get the same answer. Okay? Addition method or substitution method will work on these. Okay, let's try another one. These are not easy. Yes, I understand these are not easy. Everybody, these are for sure challenging problems. Yes, ma'am. Sure. Grab a pass. Okay. Let's try another one for number 3. For number 3, if I give you the system 2x plus 4y plus 5z equals 3. Next equation is 3x plus 2y plus 4z equals 7. And 4x minus 8y plus 7z equals negative 17. That's our system. Now, if you want to look at this, this is probably not an equation that I would use substitution on because there's no variable that's by itself. Okay, they all have coefficients. They all have numbers in front of them. So I would probably want to use the addition method here. Okay, so first thing we need to do is decide what letter to eliminate. So if you just look at the front numbers, 2, 3, and 4, well, I could manipulate those to be canceled out. 4, 2, and -8. Those look like numbers that would be easy, that I could multiply something through and I could get them to be opposites of each other. So that looks like a good option. And 5, 4, and 7, those do not look like easy numbers at all to be manipulating. So I'm going to go with, I want to get rid of y. Okay? So I'm going to write myself a note. I want to get rid of y. First thing I need to do is label your equations. It just makes it a little bit easier to figure out what we're doing. Okay? And then I need to pick 2 equations to eliminate the y from. So which one should I pick? You want to do 1 and 2? Okay, let's use equation 1 and 2. Now, like I said, it does not matter which equations you use. Okay, we're going to do this twice. So we're going to have a couple different combinations of equations. Okay, so from equation 1 and 2, I want to eliminate the y. So just rewrite them. So 2x plus 4y plus 5z equals 3. Equation 2 is 3x plus 2y plus 4z equals 7. To eliminate the y, I can multiply through your second equation here by a -2. If you multiply by -2, we're going to create a positive 4y and a negative 4y. So rewrite the first one, 2x plus 4y plus 5z equals 3. Second one, distribute through the -2, so -6x minus 4y minus 8z equals -14. Combine those, so add them together. The y's will cancel, gives you -4x minus 3z equals -11. So we've got one equation that just has 2 variables. Now I'm going to, again, we're going to eliminate y, but I want to pick 2 different equations. So I can use 2 and 3 or 1 and 3. Which ones do you want to use? 1 and 3? Okay. And you could do this with the other combination if you wanted. So with 1 and 3, again, I have 2x plus 4y plus 5z equals 3. And equation 3 is 4x minus 8y plus 7z equals -17. I want to eliminate the y's, so I can multiply the first equation by a positive 2. If you rewrite that, that gives you 4x plus 8y plus 10z equals 6. And just rewrite the other one underneath. 4x minus 8y plus 7z equals -17. Add those together, the y's will cancel. That leaves you with 8x plus 17z equals -11. Now take these 2 new equations and set up as systems. -4x minus 3z equals -11. And 8x plus 17z equals -11. I want to eliminate a variable here, so it'd be easy to eliminate the x's if you multiply through the first equation by a 2. So multiply those through. That's going to leave you with -8x minus 6z equals -22. Rewrite your second one underneath, positive 8x plus 17z equals -11. Use the addition method. Those eliminate each other. That leaves us with 11z equals -33. Divide both sides by 11. And we get one of our variables. Z is -3. Now I want to plug in, so use any of these equations, okay? You can use the ones that you've changed or you can use the ones that you started with, does not matter, okay? These are long, yeah, I know, sorry, okay? I'm going to use this one, so -4x minus 3 times -3 equals -11. So -4x plus 9 equals -11. Subtract 9 from both sides.